Hey Rams, it's Miss Moreau. Now we are going to be multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, our standard is 6.3D. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers fluently. Remember what fluently means? It's like when you speak another language fluently. You can do it without having to stop and slow down and think about what your actual steps are, okay? And we're also going to represent these integer operations with models, okay? So this problem here, these are all actually yellow. They just didn't print yellow. That's okay. So they are positive integers over here, all right? So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I have 4 groups of 8 positive integers. This kind of looks like elementary, right? 4 groups of 8 is 32. All right, so 4 groups of 8. That's pretty easy. Now, my model here, it says that I'm going to start at 0. And it's a group of 8, so I'm going to make one jump to 8. 8 more spaces. 8 more spaces. 8 more spaces. And this is why I told you when we were adding, we don't do the little bubble jumps, because we actually save those for multiplication. Sometimes we see these where it looks like arrows like this. It just shows like repeated addition, because, you know, addition looks like this. And that's okay too, but a lot of times you will see the little jumps, okay? So 4 times 8. So one number represents the number of jumps, okay? And how many jumps do we have here? 4. The other number tells the distance of each jump. Distance and direction, okay? Now by direction, I mean whether you're going positive or negative direction, okay? So this one, I had 4 jumps, and each jump was 8 spaces in the positive direction. So they're all positives here. Now, what happens when I'm working with some negative numbers? These were all red, so they are negative numbers. Okay? So this one, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of, and then there are 4 negatives in each one. 4 groups of negative 4. So this represents, you could say 4 times negative 4, or you could say negative 4 times 4. Either one's okay, but I want to explain one thing that's pretty important over here, all right? We are looking at the number of jumps. I can't have a negative number of jumps. The negative can be my direction. I can have 4 jumps in the negative direction, but I can't have negative 4 jumps, okay? So what this is going to mean is 4 jumps in the negative direction. One's positive, one's negative. So 1, 2, 3. The other one's going to go over here to 16. Okay? Where you end up at is your answer. Kind of cool, right? So I'm going to say 4 jumps. And then 4 spaces in the negative direction. Okay? Now these are 4 groups of negative 4. Now, yeah, this works with models. That's great. But what happens when we're not looking at models. We want to deal with big numbers. Well, we have a pretty easy little strategy, and I've got actually 2 ways to show it to you, okay? So the rule is, if the signs are the same, your answer is positive. So positive times positive is positive. That's just like elementary. Now this also works for dividing. Positive divided by positive, okay? Negative times negative is positive. Positive divided by positive is positive. And negative divided by negative is also positive. And I'll explain that in just a second. But when you have positive times negative, or positive divided by negative, or negative divided by positive, your answer is negative. This what I'm writing tells you the answer, okay? And we look right over here. Explain in words how to use this triangle. So what we're going to do here, if I said I had -3 times 5, we just learned that a positive times a negative is negative. But what you do on this triangle is you cover up one negative and cover up one positive. Cover them up. What happens? What do I have left over? A negative. That means my answer is negative. Equals, negative 15. I don't need to have two negatives, sorry. Negative 15. What if I have negative 12 divided by negative 2? Okay. Negative divided by a negative leaves me positive 6. Okay. Negative 5 times negative, 8. Negative times negative is positive. What's left over is positive 40. This works for multiplying and dividing. I could say negative 30 divided by negative 6. I can make it positive 6 because I already hit a negative. Negative divided by positive. So negative divided by a positive gives me negative. And all I have to do is say, what's 30 divided by 6? 5. And I know my answer is negative because of my rule here. Okay, cover up the two signs from your problem. Okay, your answer is whatever sign is left over. Okay, all right, so let's try these. Negative 11 times positive 5. So negative times a positive, that gives me a negative. So what's 11 times 5? 55. Okay, 108 divided by 9. Well, 108 divided by 9 is 12, but is my answer positive or negative? I have a positive here and a negative here, so my answer is negative. Negative 48 divided by negative 8. So negative divided by negative is positive. 48 divided by 8 is 6. This isn't so bad, right? Okay, negative 7 times negative 9. Well, 7 times 9 is 63. Negative times a negative. Oh, I'm off the page. I'm so sorry. Negative times a negative is positive. 96 divided by 12 is 8. Negative divided by a positive here. Negative divided by positive is negative. Negative 6. Oh, look at this one. When you have a number smushed up against those parentheses, that means multiply. Oh, goodness. Negative 6 times negative 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. But a negative times a negative is positive. Okay, all you have left is write your summary. What does this mean in this problem? What did you learn in this lesson? You can learn about the models, the number lines, the number of jumps. If the signs are the same, your answer is positive. If your signs are opposite, it's negative. Or you can summarize your triangle trick. These things are amazing. Okay, this makes it so easy. All right, have a great day, Rams.